Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pampering Myself podcast.
Today, my guest is Gwendolyn Lewis, author, storyteller, and entrepreneur who is no stranger to the Pampering Myself podcast. Gwen is going to share with us her thoughts on a very important attribute or character trait we don't often hear about: kindness. Kindness refers to actions that are considered generous and friendly, aimed at benefiting not only others, but self. Gwen, welcome back to the Pampering Myself podcast. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me. I think to recognize kindness in this particular program is very important. I enjoy being here as always.
Absolutely. So let's talk about kindness, something you really don't hear about, but experience. I can't say that I know of anyone whose business model is focused on kindness, but we sure need to spread the word more. Now, we know every entrepreneur's journey is unique, and the inspiration behind starting a business can be a combination of factors, which are influenced by one's personal circumstances or a broader environment. Was there a personal experience or moment in your life that inspired you to choose kindness as your central message?
I can reflect back to those junior high days when everybody treated everybody any old way.
Yes.
And if you were the butt of a joke, you got it. Sometime, I have said, if you could get through junior high, if you could get through some of the comical things or hurting things within your home, you make it pretty good as you go through life. But I think just observing and remembering how I felt when people, maybe at church, would say after I had been absent, "We miss you." And my reaction would be, I need to go and the church more because they miss me. They took the time to say that. Or if I hadn't talked to a friend or a relative and said, "We haven't heard from you. Have you been okay?" And that's even been recently. And my response, my action response would be, I must call them. But you know what? They made me feel good. They actually made me feel good knowing that they missed me and they said something nice to me. So we can reflect through our adolescence, but even day to day, that action of wanting, or we miss you, or thank you very much, can turn you around. And I guess there's many things that has turned me around to say, well, we need kindness and we need to start early, and even with the little ones.
And you're absolutely right. And you remind me of a question that was asked of me, but the bottom line is accumulation. It's accumulation of things that have transpired over time in your life that when you reflect back and think about them, that could have gotten you to this point. And so
yes.
Yes, you didn't wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this." But when you think back, you were, I use the word all in divine order.
Yes.
Because it was really something when we stop and listen. And when people say they don't know what their purpose is, it's because they haven't taken the time to reevaluate over their lifespan what touched them the most. And I think you'll find it.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, you said what promoted you personally, how do you think acts of kindness contribute to building stronger communities or fostering positive relationships? And what impact do you hope it will have?
Well, community relationships. What about that thing of paying ahead? Or what about that thing of just helping somebody immediately? I think those kind of things answer your question.
Yes.
That kindness, I'm thinking about it, is recognizing the need of anyone and giving to them in a spontaneous or an organized manner. Now, it could be the people next door. The other day, I acquired a lot of candy. However, I gave the candy, I ate what I wanted and gave the candy to the lady next door so she could give to her grandkids. That may inspire someone else to her or someone else to give to somebody else, because sometimes people don't realize kindness in front of them. Right. And they will, somebody has to remind them that, hey, didn't somebody do that for you? And they will, with the dynamic law, give to somebody else. Absolutely. They may have to learn, or it's something that someone has talked to them about. That community you're talking about is, well, the neighbor. Right. I helped her. She often talks about she helped people in her office. That one little thing, helping in her office, will inspire someone to help in their community. Absolutely. It's not anything that's set and written. It's that domino effect that you do to inspire other people. Like I said, it can be spontaneous, or it can be in an organized manner, like some organizations say, we're going to have a walk to help this person who have been injured or have passed away. Yes, kindness has to be shown, and it, I do believe, has that domino effect. I was at the grocery store, and all of a sudden my grocery was paid for. And this man was saying, I was waiting to give my act of kindness for today. So, what do I do? I looked at the person next to me. I didn't do it that time. But weeks later, I was able to do something because someone had done something kind for me. So community can be 2 or 3 people. It could be your block. It could be the community where you work. It could be your religious community. But just doing something spontaneous makes you, well, you didn't do it to get glory, right? Or you didn't do it you just did it because you were inspired, and that inspiration came from somebody doing it for you, or something you read.
Absolutely. And when you say you didn't give back right there on the spot, those groceries could have been paid for by that gentleman because of something you did previously. And it could have been something unbeknown to you, a kind word to someone, a gesture, a smile, or anything that you may have done because of the kind of person you are, that someone looked over and said, I'm going to pay for your groceries. So you're right. You never know when to expect it. Not that we do expect it, but it can come. If you're that kind of person who give, you're that kind of person that will probably receive as well.
It's a story that happened just recently in the last couple of days. One of my classmates, I take a class right now at Butzel Recreation Center. And one of my classmates was in a contest of swimming. And I was a couple of days ago, I was very tired. I did not want, I say, yes, you go, because you show up and you show people that, you're for them. You just support them. I thought I was going late. I didn't want to go. When my turn came, not only did that lady appear the next day for my contest, not only did that lady appear, 3 other people from the class appeared.
Nice.
What I had to do was early in the morning, 9 o'clock. 4 of the 5 came back to the second contest at 2:30 to support me.
Nice.
I was so floored. Most of the time, I don't get that audience. I knew it was something going on. But in the meantime, guess what I had done? One lady needed a partner in a race. I hadn't raced for 50 years, but she needed a partner so she could qualify. I did it. And later on, somebody gave me some accolades for something else. It didn't have anything to do with it. So I'm saying just the kindness that you show become addictive because you start doing it spontaneous.
Right.
And it just comes and it flows. And if you're doing it from, you said, the heart, or the higher up, it's something that you won't get stuck in somebody's using you. You won't ever get stuck in that because of the level of a simple word of kindness that you're doing for others.
Absolutely. And I want to take the opportunity right now to congratulate you on that winning the gold in your division for race walking and walking Detroit Senior Olympics. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
I know you've won in the past as well. So that must have been exciting, an exciting accomplishment.
Yes, it is. It is.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now, we know we live in a world where so much goes on every day. I'm not going to get political, but in a society where values and comparison and fairness, it's important to be kind and also tackle injustice and inequality. How do you balance advocating for kindness and acknowledge issues of injustice and inequality?
I would say after you start this purpose in life of kindness, it comes just come. When you're seated at the table where you see difficulties going on, you just search to see where not just kindness, or where equality and kindness can mesh together. If you see that at the table while you're sitting or any place else, you can come up and raise your hand, articulate that what you feel. A lot of times there are others who wish they had articulated that, but that's not that won't get you into the limelight. But once you do say, well, if you handle this and think about the feelings of others and what you can accomplish down the road, others tend to agree with you. Looking on the brighter side of things, and when you're seated at the table, I'm not saying laughing, I'm saying looking at a more positive view I have seen it where people kind of change their mind because they start thinking of where they've been, who they absolutely influencing right then and in the future. Sticking your ground of how you feel about people and the situation. You do not have to trample on everybody's toes and feet to accomplish something in life.
And I think basically what you said was empathy, respect, and active listening.
Mm-hmm.
If you can wrap all of that up and still be able to deliver your message, you might get someone to either see your side or respectively disagree with you.
Yes.
Because that's really the reality. But both sides are communicating in a way that they're being heard.
True.
Awesome.
True.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what are some simple yet effective ways that we can incorporate kindness into our daily lives?
All right. To our daily lives. As we get up in the morning, we have to pull in those spiritual messages within ourselves because a lot of that is what it is. Calling somebody these simple things. Calling somebody you haven't called before. Just to say hello. Walking into a store with a smile on your face. You got to get to that. But walk into a store with a smile on your face. Because not just a grin, but that inner smile that radiates and people see that. They know. Mm-hmm. If you're at the store and you order a restaurant and you order something, it's not right exactly what you wanted. Yes, you can ask for it, change, but do it politely. Yeah. Just be kind. As the day goes on, see things in you may think it's the rose-colored glasses, but when people come up to you to say something probably negative, kind of stand your ground and say, well, I really like this. But those are the simple things. Give things away you don't need. Give things away you don't need. Whether it's the Salvation Army, whether it's the kids next door. If you know someone needs something and you've talked to them for years, oh, they would like this. If you can, give it to them. Yeah. Those kind of things will get that reciprocation back to you and the domino effect that they will give to other people. Those are just the simple things. For young kids, well, either you may help your friend in school. You may share something. If somebody wants to get ahead of you in line and you know they shouldn't be there, just let them go on because they may need that. You may not. You may just do it, get angry because your friend said, look at that person got in line ahead of you. Not even in the grocery store for adults. Let them. Because they need that. And you will still keep that peace that we all look for in life.
Absolutely. And to the grocery store thing, I ran into Kroger's the other day about 9:00 at night, thinking I was going to run in and run out. I had about 4 items to get. Oh my goodness. Since COVID, I don't know what has really transpired in these stores, but of course it was a staffing issue. They had one cashier and one person overseeing self-checkout, which made only 3 of the self-checkout lanes available. And there were probably about a total of 30, 35 people trying to all check out at the same time. Of course, patience, So I had to practice patience while I stood there, just waiting. It probably took me about 20 minutes to get through that line. But the lady in front of me, her and I were talking about just random things. And she ended up letting me get in front of her because she had a buggy full. I insist that she go ahead. I had waited that long, but she insists I get in front of her. So I did.
Yes.
Those small acts of kindness, like you said, make a big difference. It would have put me back probably another 5 or 6 minutes because the cashier also had to do the bagging. But that was something, just opening up to her in line, I think is why we felt comfortable or warmth in our conversation. Hey, go ahead. So those small things do make a difference.
I've seen that in the grocery stores. I'll say to somebody, you bought all the plants. Well, they had 2 plants hanging there, and they would open up and to give me a whole conversation. And I could see a smile on their face.
Right.
Sometimes people, all they want is someone to care.
Yeah, it can make their day. And a negative comment could also break it. We could have been standing there complaining about it's a shame, instead we were in a more positive mode, and we just passed the time away by some idle chit chat.
Yes, that's needed.
Right. Now, can you share an example of how practicing kindness has transformed your own life or your perspective on something?
It has transformed me. I look forward to giving or a kindness that I can give to another person. I absolutely look forward to it. I'm wondering what I'm going to be given to me today to do. If I have books, a library of books, with especially children books. Some kids moved down the street, and I'm just grinning because I would like to have the opportunity to get those books to them. It's just that kind of little thing of kindness that I see myself looking forward to. The young people helped me yesterday by being there. I said it was 4 or 5 people. But one thing, as I was walking around here today, I noticed they did not have. They were out sitting in the sun without sunscreen. And we know that we need that. They talk about that all the time. So I was thought about, it may cost, but I can maybe go to the dollar store and get some sunscreen and a little baggie, put it in a baggie with something else, wipes maybe, and then give it to them when I see them tomorrow, just to help them along any other time they have to be out and experience it. And since they didn't know, they'll probably do the same thing for someone else. So I don't do it to make myself feel good. I do it because it's just have become, number one, a part of me. And I know how I felt when people were kind to me. And I'm mostly a positive person, so I don't like going down that road. And it's better to give than to receive.
Absolutely. Now, you said 2 things. You said you don't do it to make you feel good, but yet you identify that it does make you feel good.
Yes.
So I know it's not your reasoning, but can you imagine that if everyone did some act of kindness, let's say once a day or twice a day or whatever, how can you be bitter or mad or negative if you practice kindness? Because it makes you as a person feel good inside. And that means that you can't be destructive or negative or violent towards others.
That's true. Now, I get that feel goodness, but I don't want to keep it into the I, I'm going to do this so I can feel good.
Right.
That's why you just do it. And it's a natural thing. I guess it's supposed to be what you're supposed to do in life to have peace. And all those other things are supposed to come to you. Yeah.
I agree. Well, Gwen, as always, it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Yes.
If the world practiced more kindness, what a beautiful world it would be.
Yes.
All
so
starts
true.
with, someone like you inspiring others to make a difference, one kind act at a time.
That's so true.
Anything else you'd like to add in closing? A final comment, a contact number, email, whatever you like to say.
I have worked on this project. I've only given it twice. And it's called Welcome to the Village of Kindness. And I would like to sing the song. Welcome to the Village of Kindness. We help whenever we can. There's no reward for what we do. We do it because we can. We help at home. We help at school. We help everybody and the elderly too. We come from the village of kindness. We help whenever we can. And that's a workshop I'm trying to develop that just teaches kindness. But it's mostly for children. It can be altered for adults, but it's something that to be shared. My name is Gwendolyn Lewis. Contact number 313-467-9294. Website is gwenstoryteller.com.
Thank you, Gwen. And that's where it starts with the children. My first thought was, that's something adults need too, because we need to be reminded of that. But you're absolutely right. It starts with children, and we can't assume that they're taught kindness in the homes. And we can't assume that they're not. But if they have an opportunity to learn it outside the home, why not?
Yes.
I know I went to several workshops where this was professional development for women. And I've heard some of these stories about young girls, like in their early teens, of things that they got as far as negative thoughts or whatever from the home and what was missing. So there are opportunities to pass that information along to children who may not have gotten it from their home environment.
Yeah. Yes.
So it is necessary. And so as always, again, I want to thank you and my listening audience. And I like to leave you all with this thought. Someone once said, kindness makes a fellow feel good, whether it's done to him or by him.
Okay.
Have a blessed day. And as always, don't forget to pamper yourself. And remember, sharing is caring. So share this link to someone that you care about.